Gentlemen, welcome back to the Scuf Gaming Showdown. Chris Puckett and Bioacid bringing you the action tonight. And Dallas, it's Game 3, Part 2. Of course, the first half of Octane, it was a tie in Blitz. What do? Well, it's no longer a 3-cap overtime. We're playing the full game over on this map. And I got to get your opinion. Who looked better to you in the first time these two teams went at it?
You know, on that first half, you've got to say Optic from what they were putting out and during the start of the second half as well. However, you have to give credit where credit's due. Denial, bringing that back and keeping it so close right down to that last 25 seconds. That was anyone's game because Denial were in Optic's spawn area in that blitz capture point, and then right that last 5 seconds, Optic were in Denial. So straight away off the bat, however, Embos coming out of nowhere, putting the first points on the board, 1-0 to Optic right now.
Yeah, he didn't even fire a bullet on his way to that blitz cap, and I want to give a shout out to Nadeshot as well. He saw a player move across the middle, rotated back, but he hung out at his base for a while because it seems that the communication from Optic wasn't pinpoint on. He hung out, finally got the call out that that player was dead before rotating forward, but blitz, it's all a map about capping, and the man to watch is going to be Embos, taking fire from 3 angles, finally cut down. And as I look at the mini-map, it looks like both teams are going to have to fight for middle of the map control. Let's jump on board with Scumpy for a bit.
Yeah, Scump right now, coming back on this hotel side here at the bus, knows the player around here, trying to hunt him down, sees him there and will challenge for it. He decides to give up though.
I like that play.
Over has respawned.
Oh!
Can't pick up the third, sadly enough. But right there, his teammates backing him up a little bit. Clayster coming through. And there's another capture for Optic. Now it's 2-0 in Optic's favor.
All right, a very fast start here for Optic in the first 90 seconds. 2 caps. Smoke is down in the middle. Embos trying to watch strip as Clay pushes through the middle. Will get cut down, though. And it's going to be up to Scumpy trying to score. Won't be able to get through. Embos in the middle of the map will let his teammates play defense. And I think everyone from Optic's going to get shut down. Let's switch over to Denial for a moment. I want to see what their pickup Knockside is up to.
Knockside right now, they're in that middle area gas station. He's going to push on the sides against Pawn, decides to try and push in to the back of Gash. Gets shut down by Scump, who was waiting there for us at that respawn. So sadly for him, we will respawn, however, off that hotel side. And, you know, it's a good little comeback, picking up Embos, who was very sneaky and has caused a little bit of damage there, putting Optic in that lead originally from that 1-0. And it just seems right now, Puckett, that Denial is sort of thinking defensive time might be something we have to look at.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you were able to catch what Twiz did there, but he pushed up through Diner, saw a player run past him, snuck all the way through the back, just basically ran the perimeter of the map, and was able to get in to put the score at 2-1. So we'll see if Denial can maintain their defensive stand as one more Optic player is challenging in the motel. Down goes Fizzerp, so it'll be up to Flawless and Twiz to stop him. While everyone is stuck back at the base, though, Optic Gaming has pushed all the way up inside the motel. 3 players at the base. 1 just went through, and Embos is waiting to score as well.
Embos just sitting there at that MTAR, picks up a 2-piece, looking for that third down at that respawn. Doesn't see the player push him, however, but straight away into that again. Doesn't have to go for those kills. If you can get the capture, it's more important. And right now, Optic are up by 3, and Embos off the Diner respawn. Back-to-back with a great relay right there, and looking for a third time perhaps.
He's running it. Can he get the third? 5, 4, 3, 2. Scumpy the Protector as Embos is putting in 3 caps in 30 seconds. Optic showing you the perfect strategy here on Octane. This is 4 straight caps.
Embos, that was massive thanks to Scumpy as well, who was sitting behind that Humvee and keeping these guys from that back alley behind strip on that respawn time and time again. So right now, Optic have put a lot of damage on Denial side, and Embos working the corners. 6 captures so far in the first 4 minutes of this overtime.
I'm pretty sure you just called Embos a hooker after those 5 caps. I like it, working the corners. Meanwhile, we got Nadeshot putting some shots down in the middle. And while we were watching Embos just run laps around the map for his 5 straight captures, Clayster was 14-5. Scumpy was 13-5. Those players both at 14 at the moment. Totally outslaying their opponent. Optic Gaming had that strategy in mind. They were able to get their setup and execute it perfectly.
It was, and right now Denial have to try and think what they can do to change things up. After that first time around here on this Blitz Octane, it was 2-2 at the end of the first half. That's changed a fair bit right now after this time. It's 8-2 right now. So 6 caps, that difference. And Clayster outside of strip right now, picking up Fizzip, who was trying to come off that respawn using the orbital. I do see a player up in hotels from Denial's side of things, but Optic will try and get another cap in before the end of the half, just to make it 9-2 perhaps. With Scumpy not really in the area. No, who we got? No one really. So it looks like Optic will have to just sit back and wait and go with that +6.
I think Embos has got another one. Never mind. Just kidding. All right, but a fantastic start for Embos, Scumpy, Clay, and Nade Shot. Optic Gaming, 8 caps, 8 blitz in the first round, and 30 kills from Scumpy and Clayster in just 5 minutes. What a fantastic start. We'll see if they can keep up their momentum as we switch sides. I got to see something from Denial, though. Twiz is 4-9. Let's see what's going wrong.
You know, Twiz is on 4-9. I do have to mention, however, Fizzle was on 1-9, I believe, at one stage there. He's picked up a little bit, 6-15. It's not too bad, but like you said, Twiz on that 4-9 does have one capture to his name as well, so you got to give him credit for that one. As he just decides to chill back here, out the back of Pawn, just waiting for a player from Optic. He's worried. There's a player to his left coming through. Maybe Embo's there.
Nice.
It wasn't Embo's. It was actually Scumpy. That Embo's got picked up as well. Shutting down that nice little attack there by Optic. Now trying to pull something out for themselves here to perhaps put some more points on the board.
Twiz going up and above. The new Dead Silence having such a change in Call of Duty Ghost. Now you can't hear when they're sliding or jumping. Twiz, like a ninja, tries to get into the base, but he's cut down. And looking at the minimap, let's go full screen with this for a moment. The farthest pushed up player is Noxide. Everyone else back at gas. It looks like Denial thinks someone slipped through, but with just 4 minutes left on the clock, you're down 6 points. If I'm Denial, I'm telling out all of my teammates, we got to get aggressive here.
You know, they're going to try their best to pull up that aggressiveness, obviously, and they've got to do something here sooner rather than later. Of course, that 6-point deficit's still there. Optic haven't put any points in here yet. A minute 20 gone from this second half, and right now, I want to see what Noxide's up to. He's on the 9-12, player right in front of him, as we can see from that orbital side. Or 2 players out front, actually, as Fizzip tries to come on out. That player picks him up, takes him down, and there's a 2-piece there from Clayster as he pushes inside the diner.
I think it's Clay's turn to be featured, as it looks like Optic is not going to give up any caps from the motel. They have solid 2-man defense, and Clayster, he's not even attacking. He is just pinned up on this far right side of the map behind the diner. Denial knows where he's at, and Clay still gets out alive, picking up a kill on his exit. Now getting some support, as it looks like he is going to have Nade Shot working with him on this right side. Clayster could potentially go for a score here.
Yeah, pushing on top of that top of the diner there. Top horn as well. One player down on his left-hand side. Sees him, takes him out. Almost out of ammunition, though. 3 bullets left in that chamber. Has to duck on down to get some more ammo at that time. And inside of Pawn, he will go. Hunting down for a player here, Puckett. But there's a final cap going in. The first one of the second half to Scumpy. Now it's 9-2. Still, Denial really not doing that much to show they can come back here at the moment.
Yeah, Clayster's 22-9 is just brutal. And then you're seeing Scumpy at 18-11 plus the caps. Not a fun time to play against this Optic Gaming squad. Scumpy picks up number 19. They're looking for his 20th kill, trying to make the push through the back alleys.
It would seem Optic right now aren't that worried too much in regards to putting much pressure on that blitz point. While they are still getting the captures in, they're also slaying a fair amount. Right now, Scump hits 20 kills, going for another capture here. This will be 3rd in the game, but from behind, Noxide shutting him down with a very clean shot for that MTAR. So the difference, 9 captures, a minute 50 remaining here on this clock. Still in the second half, the first time of overtime, of course. But right now, Optic do seem to have this and should be able to increase their series score to 2-1 after this.
What a difference a game makes. Remember, we are still in game number 3 of the series. The first time they played on this map, it was tied 6-6. Now in the second matchup, Optic Gaming, knowing exactly what Denial's strategy is, able to adjust to that and put up 11 captures. Most of it was led just to the perfect setup they had in the first round, but they're not slowing down by any means in the second half. A minute 16 left. Denial's basically out of it, but now they got to play for pride here and try and take some momentum away from Optic, because they started off way too strong here.
Oh, they did. And that was a massive thanks to Embos. As we saw in that first half, he didn't fire a single bullet. He ran right out, overextended at the back air behind strip, came on through and got a cap in straight away for his team. So it's a great work there. And right now, Optic with that +10 Denial want to try and get a couple of captures in or slay for a little bit if they can. But you're looking at those kills, 11 and 12 for Embos. He's got 6 captures to his name, but Scumpi on 22 and 14 with 2 captures, 24 and 12 for Clayster with 1 capture, and Nashot 13 and 11 with 3 captures. So across the board, Optic are putting out great numbers, and with great objective play as well all around, you can show why they had that lead.
Nadeshot going for the double smoke on the left side, knows that everyone is going to be focusing middle, spots one player trying to get by as he goes for cap number 13, and he will get help. This is a free cap unless that spawn happens right in front of him. It doesn't, and there we go. Nadeshot getting in with 13 seconds left. 13-3 should be our final score here on Octane. And what a job from Optic Gaming.
Think about it. Nashot's trying to make it back for another one here, but he
really?
pulled up inches away. He slid in, but not enough time left. So a plus 10 there with 13 captures. Massive shout out to Embos there with that 6th capture. And that trap they had going, of course, with Scumpi, who was behind the Humvee there that he's located at once again.
What a round there from Optic. Scumpi and Clayster continue to impress in the kill column. Almost 50 kills between the two. And then 14 and 11 from Nadeshot, 15 and 14 from Embos, with 10 caps between the two of those players, running the objective perfectly. Octane looked fun the second time around for Optic Gaming. It's going to be on Denial to turn it up as we go back to Octane for domination in game number 4.
It will be interesting. You know, it's going to be see what happens, obviously, with Denial picking up that first domination on Strike Zone. See if they can do it once again here, Puckett, but I think with the momentum Optic may have, they might be able to pull it out and shut it down in game number 4.
You know, I'm looking at the stats here, and Twiz was held at 10 and 17. Granted, he was going for those objectives, but 13 and 22 from Noxide, who was slaying pretty darn well in the first time they played Blitz. I'm looking for him and Fizzerp to step up in the slaying column if they want to win in domination. We saw what they can do on Strike Zone. We'll find out if they can do it. Game number 4 coming up after this commercial break.